It's looking increasingly likely that the 80% vaccination freedoms will be brought forward to Monday. Let's go to Cayman Gock at Sydney Olympic Park. Cayman, it seems that the Premier has all but confirmed that.
Well, Juanita, what was speculation is now a commitment from the Premier. If we hit that 80% benchmark this weekend, then the freedoms with it will follow on the Monday. It means in just 5 days' time, up to 20 people could come to your home. Up to 50 people you could gather with outdoors, and it means you wouldn't have to wear one of these in the office. Now, right now, 76.6% of people 16 and over are fully vaccinated and 91% have one jab, while 71% of 12 to 15-year-olds have at least some protection. The government will also tomorrow decide whether or not it's safe for regional travel to open as planned, and that's because some regional areas have much lower vaccination rates compared to Greater Sydney. Now, today there were 444 new cases and 4 more deaths. And while more cases are expected as the state's freedoms return, the Premier says he is sticking to the plan.
It will be the Monday following where we hit that 80%. That's the commitment we've made. That's the commitment we will sustain.
And Juanita, rules around close contacts have also changed. If you've been fully vaccinated for at least 2 weeks and are deemed a close contact, then you only need to isolate now for 7 days.
Cayman Gock reporting there. Tasmanian health authorities are racing to trace the movements of a COVID-positive man from New South Wales who escaped hotel quarantine in Hobart. The 31-year-old man arrived in Tasmania via Melbourne on Monday night, despite being refused permission to enter the state. He was placed in hotel quarantine and was recorded as missing yesterday afternoon before being apprehended in Hobart's northern suburbs last night.
These are hotels. They are not secure prison facilities, and we need to understand just how this has occurred.
The man's now tested positive to coronavirus and contact tracers are investigating his movements. He's been fined a total of $3,000. When COVID spread to the tiny outback town of Wilcannia in the state's far west, it didn't take long for the virus to take hold. More than 150 people in the mainly Indigenous population contracted the disease, sending panic through the vulnerable community. Now it's brighter days. There's not a single active case there, and Wilcannia is ready to move on.
57 days ago, the small town of Wilcannia shot to national prominence when COVID entered the community. Over the coming weeks, more than a quarter of the population would be infected.
It came like a cyclone. We were so unprepared, not just us local, but even the government had no strategies or planning.
But more than 2 weeks have now passed without a new COVID case.
Take my hat off to the people of Wilcannia because they've done a great job in getting this under control in such a short period of time.
It's a fantastic achievement. And when you consider where we started from.
2 months on and out of lockdown, schools have reopened. Wilcannia elder Owen Wyman and his 13-year-old daughter Amelia are able to spend time at the river once more. Both were forced into isolation twice.
We love the river so much that it's like coming back home from a long trip.
The outbreak highlighted the town's social housing crisis.
We've been crying for years about that issue, and if it was met before the COVID, we would never have the impact that we had today.
With more than 150 cases and just a single hospitalisation, locals here in Wilcannia know they've been incredibly fortunate so far. But the frustration over poor planning pre-outbreak and overcrowded housing hasn't gone away.
I hope something good comes out of it, but we'll wait and see because we're tired of broken promises from government.
Having weathered the COVID cyclone, this isolated town is looking to the future. Bill Ormond, ABC News, Wilcannia.